This story has been airing. We've seen this garbage can here just blow out of the way. The complaints start by saying there were dead cockroaches left in the traps. The complaints also say food storage bins were left on the floor. They're also accused of having undercooked chicken and food left at room temperature for hours. He saw sparks flying all the way over the freeway, landing into this home here, nearly burning down the home of people who have lived here in the Oakland Hills for decades. Injuring a couple people and also picking up multiple cars and damaging them, like this van right here to my right that literally had its windows blown out. The Glen Haven fire is not as large as other fires we've seen in Northern California so far this year, but its location is what makes it particularly dangerous. Well, shortly after a confrontation with police, the hundreds of protesters started marching down Market Street. Many people here expressed that they want to defend their families, defend their neighbors from possible deportations. It looks like workers, or at least contractors with Tesla, are now putting up a gate. And so they wanted to make a statement here, block people from going to work, leaving work as well. She says, though, once the city throws all of this away, she has no idea where she'll live next. Each time they're broken into costs them thousands of dollars. This particular break-in is going to cost them around $20,000 to repair. Empty light rail lines all over the South Bay area. That also includes bus service lines as part of the VTA, all because of this. Unionized VTA employees on strike now. It'll be those two candidates in a runoff election in June. I had the chance to catch up with both candidates to talk about what this race means to them. Are you considering a run for a higher office like governor? It's all coming up in the next 20 minutes. Are there any names that come to mind when we're looking at the 2028 election that you see as a front runner?
Oh, I think we've got a strong bench.
We sit down with the congressman to talk about his first 6 months. It's all coming up on Cron 4 News. Yeah, Noel, that's right. Police are telling us that at this hour, there is no ongoing threat to the public. Now, there were some social media rumors going around earlier this evening, calling this an active shooter situation. We can tell you watching at home, that's simply not true. When we talked to police, they told us that this is an isolated incident. The suspect was not targeting shoppers. It was just possibly an argument between two people. But still, you have many shoppers who were here on this Black Friday leaving frightened.
Everybody was just doing their normal shopping.
Everyone was just screaming. It was complete chaos. It was crazy. Devastated. I've never experienced something like this in my life.
Chaos on the busiest shopping day of the year at one of the South Bay's busiest malls. Valley Fair shut down as police and deputies evacuated everyone after 3 people, including 1 minor, were shot inside a Macy's. The call came in at 5:40.
You know, I'm 28 years old, and I feel like I've experienced a lot. There's nothing that equates to, a life or death situation like this when you're dealing with the unknown and you're dealing with an unknown threat.
Ali Dinesh ran outside the store with his family, but some of his group had to barricade themselves inside the store.
A lot of our family members have mobility issues, hearing issues, so even if they wanted to escape, they couldn't. My heart's still pounding thinking about it.
Luckily, people who had to barricade inside made it out after about an hour of waiting.
I think it was at least an hour. Yeah. There was actually a lot. Like, I had to call our parents and just making sure like everyone was safe.
These women also had to barricade. Other people running and oftentimes pushing people out of the way.
Something in me just I needed to run. I didn't want to be there anymore.
SJPD confirming that they were able to confirm the shooting is isolated and there was no active shooter threat.
We can say for a matter of fact that this was not unsuspected shoppers that were targeted here. This was an isolated incident with 2 individuals and unfortunately 2 others who were injured.
And as Black Friday is a busy shopping day, the weekend may be just as busy. SJPD saying that they're planning on beefing up security around the mall.
Matter of precedent, we always usually bolster whenever we have incidents like this with additional security, additional patrols here at the malls.
And on Friday, officers spent the next several hours patrolling with rifles and K-9s. Still, many people shopping on Friday, hoping for a peaceful Black Friday, are leaving feeling uneasy with a suspect still on the run.
Hopefully people are safe because it's actually very scary, and I think there should be like a change. There should be a change, definitely a change, because I shouldn't be scared to go to a place because somebody else has, like a weapon.
And you heard some of those scary scenes there in that store of people having to barricade themselves in dressing rooms, inside other fitting rooms and shops for up to an hour. Very scary, intense moments indeed for those people who had to flee immediately once they heard the bullets. They tell us that they expressed a lot of panic, people pushing each other over, just a sea of people trying to get out of this corner of Valley Fair Mall here. But when we did talk to police, they told us there were thankfully no other reported injuries from people who were rushing out of the exit there. Noel?
Ground Force Jack Molmud spoke with people in San Francisco and joins us in studio with more. Jack.
Dan and Noel, I spoke with one business owner in the Mission District who says this past Sunday she closed hours earlier than normal because people just weren't showing up. She and local activists say it may get a whole lot worse if immigration arrests happen in their district. How would the Mission District look? How would it change?
It would be empty. Who's gonna work? Who's gonna wanna work in the fruterias? Who's gonna wanna clean the offices? Who's gonna wanna do the jobs that no one else wants to do? We just wanna survive.
At Tio Chilo's on 24th and the Mission, Liz Vasquez says her business is running on fumes.
The little savings that we have, we use them. It makes you wonder, like, okay, if I close one day, how many days am I going to close?
Since immigration arrests have made headlines around the Bay Area since President Trump took office in January, Hispanic business owners all over the region are seeing a drop in customers.
I want to say my last customer came in maybe at 2 o'clock. So I usually close at 6. I close early, but I close earlier.
Latino families, those with loved ones who fear an arrest from ICE agents, just are not coming outside.
It's a war that's coming to San Francisco. Specifically, not only for our immigrant community, but for San Francisco.
Roberto Hernandez is a local activist dubbed the mayor of the Mission. He says retailers, street vendors, all too scared these past days to come outside and work in the Mission.
You know, people are feeling scared, fearful, and in some cases even depressed.
And with the uncertainty of what specific kind of immigration enforcement may be coming to the Bay Area this week, Hernandez says the president cannot be trusted.
He said, I'm going to go after all the criminals and drug dealers. Well, he's going after children. He's going after workers. He lied.
And that's certainly the fear today that has kept a lot of people at home.
Supervisor Jackie Fielder represents the Mission and says her constituents will suffer over an administration playing a game of politics.
This is not about immigration or crime. This is about political retaliation on cities who won't kiss Trump's ring.
But for Vasquez,
So it does worry because the bills aren't going to wait, the rent ain't going to wait.
she says her business is not going anywhere.
I always make them feel safe. Like if something happens to one of us, it's going to happen to all of us. You're not by yourself. We're a family.
Vasquez says she's had an enormous amount of calls and texts today from her friends in the Mission District asking her if she's going to close down shop during the expected immigration enforcement. She told us that so far she has no plans of closing down.
Jack, we understand that you've been talking with people in other communities and areas and even business organizations. How are they reacting to all of this?
Yeah, so I reached out to the Rapid Response Network in the South Bay. They cover basically all immigration families' needs in the South Bay, and they're actually planning on having a Know Your Rights kind of session / press conference with local leaders and other business owners in San Jose sometime midday tomorrow.
David Oligario has been looking for his mom all his life.
I never knew where she was. I just have a memory of her just, leaving me with my grandparents.
Susie Bochin was hit by a Tesla on Coleman Avenue, right on the intersection of Ashbury at Columbus Park, the largest homeless encampment in San Jose. David found his mom in the hospital.
There's enough daylight out. I don't care what nobody says, you could have stopped.
Questions as to why the driver didn't stop. Susie died on 4th of July.
She waited for me and my sister and my family to come. It was all the closure I needed from her, I'm gonna miss her deeply, and I wish I could have talked to her more, but now I get to find out the stories from everybody else.
As we walk through Columbus Park, unhoused people remember Susie as a pillar.
She was a lovely person. She had a lot of friends. At the vigil that we had a couple nights ago, there was a lot of people that showed up.
She was a happy-go-lucky spirit. So she meant a lot of joy and happiness for us.
People often talk about how tight-knit the unhoused community is here in the South Bay and how it's really just a small world. Just so happens a couple months ago, us at Cron 4 interviewed Susie.
Where are we supposed to go?
Back then, Susie lived near Target, closer to downtown San Jose. The city swept everyone there over safety concerns, many moving to Columbus Park, which has up to 1,000 people now. Advocate Sean Cartwright says that led to Susie's death.
She was bright and sunny and funny and sarcastic and loyal.
The crosswalk on Coleman is infamous for locals here. Cartwright tests it out. No one stops. They also speed.
They want to turn this park into a place with pickleball and soccer, a place for families and children to come. How many of them are going to get hit at this dangerous crosswalk? Or are they only going to fix it when it's a place where families come and not homeless people?
For David, who's now lost both his dad and mom to homelessness,
It feels like I can't ask nobody sometimes, you know, even though I got a bunch of people that were loved by my parents, you know.
he at least will have one way to remember his mom, Susie.
This is Panda. This is my mother's cat that she picked out.
A companion to take home, a way to feel closer to his mom he's missed for years.
This is the last little part of her that I have, you know, and it's going to be a great little fun experience.
San Jose police provided little details about the case, but family and advocates hope the driver will face homicide charges. In San Jose, Jack Molmud, Cron 4 News.